Move over, kids. This is the Saturday podcast. We are joined by David, our regular, and then, Jonathan as well. Jonathan just left, though. He maybe got stage fright. Nah, I'm sure he'll be back any second. Technical difficulties. Who knows what's going on, but we'll join Jonathan. His name is Bandana Gamer. There he goes. He's back with us. Sorry. Bandana Gamer. There he is. We thought you got stage fright, but we're glad you're back with us. Oh, and look, Devin is joining us. I was just about to start talking smack about you, Devin.
All right, guys, sorry. I'm literally doing this on my cell phone.
Oh, man, I was going to have a talk with him about last-minute call-offs, but, I mean, this is dedication, people.
All right, but hold on a second. I need to figure out the sound.
Hey, man, if you get a car crash on here, I'll feel sad for you, but you know I'm going to keep this video up so it can go viral. So please don't make me famous that way.
No.
Dude, what? Okay, well, I'm going to segue to Jonathan real quick. Give me an introduction, Bandana Gamer. Tell me who you are.
Well, I'm John Brown, the Bandana Gamer. I am fairly new to YouTube, just kind of starting out. I've been starting with some video game monthly unboxings. Moved on to some discussion pieces. Just put up a fairly long video that I didn't mean to be super long, but on beat 'em ups. But I'm still learning, so kind of learning where to catch and make the breaks. And fairly into retro gaming. I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan, which I believe is how we met in one of our Legend of Zelda groups.
I can see that. That's how I meet a lot of people, actually.
And then, retro gaming as a whole. Trying to move into retro gaming, YouTube presence. I'm about to finish up my second master's degree and looking forward to having more time and expanding channel and streaming things.
Oh, geez, a master's degree? Wow. Second. Jeez. Okay, well, I'm just a giant loser, but whatever. David, what's up, man? How are you today?
I'm good, man. I've been up since our time. I've been up since 5 o'clock. So
yeah,
just been trying to stay busy.
Anything cool you're doing, or just homework and stuff?
Just homework is cool, man. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Well, there it goes. That's why I don't have a second master's degree, because I think it's.
Yeah, but nothing much on my front, man. I'm just waiting for Smash. I'm counting down the days.
He's not even going to talk, actually, because he knows nothing. All he is doing is waiting for Smash Brothers. He doesn't even know that Pokemon's about to come out.
Yeah, you're right.
Devin, so why are you joining us via car today? What's going on?
Via satellite.
Keep in mind, I have you on a mount, so I'm not actually holding my phone. But yeah, I'm going to ShopRite, so a grocery store, so I could set up for my fiance's birthday. That's why.
Happy birthday,
Alice.
Alice, I knew that. I totally knew that.
Yeah. Her birthday was actually on the 4th, but we're going to medieval times today, so that's why.
Okay. What is medieval times?
Oh, okay. It is basically a giant Renaissance show that you have all these knights.
I think he froze on me, but whatever. I know what it is. I was just having him explain it. It's I think the movie that made it famous was Cable Guy with Jim Carrey, and it was just a bunch of you're watching these knights, and they talk, and they'll make fun of you in Old English, and just you're at the Renaissance Festival. I don't know. Have you guys been there?
I've been there. You get a giant turkey leg and a giant potato that they call a dragon egg.
Oh, nice.
So
I got to see if there's any. My kid would love that. I have a 6 and a 4-year-old, and I like the Renaissance Festival and stuff, but as one of the downfalls with geek culture, in my opinion, is that, us adults, we just don't grow up and stuff. But then we take over these Renaissance festivals, and it's really cool because we get really into it, but we get a little too into it. And it's people are saying, they make these really crude comments with selling their pickles. And I'm just guys, my kid's 6. Can we just find that nice little area where both adults and kids can have fun. So, yeah. I don't know. The Renaissance Festival can be a little, sometimes I tell him to turn his head, basically.
Is the Pickle Man just like at every Renaissance festival?
Yeah,
like,
I think it's a staple. And they have.
I thought that was just like ours.
No, because I'm from Michigan originally, and there's a pickle guy there, and then asking people if they want to see his pickle, and then also in Texas there's a pickle guy. So unless this pickle guy is just everywhere, maybe he's everywhere. I'm gonna leave Devin's picture up because he's just so beautiful. I'll just act like I'm talking like Devin every once in a while.
Weird.
So, David, have you been following anything? Do you know anything that's going on in the gaming world right now?
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm swamped with work and school, I still have my my Twitter feed going. So I'm hearing about BlizzCon. I'm hearing about Pokemon Let's Go, and the Game Awards. The Game Awards are coming up in like a month. So
yeah, Game Awards. What do you think? Do you think Red Dead is going to get it? You think it's a Red Dead year?
Yeah, I mean, the buzz has been. I mean, I'm gonna say top 3. It's gonna be God of War, Spider-Man, or Red Dead. I mean, those guys have been the major tent poles of this year. So that's my pick.
Quick shout out to Sit Patel, Dan Kiro. See, I did read your what's that? The phonics or the how to pronounce something, and then Bandana Gamer. That's you. And Paradox 524, dude. Paradox, I want you to know that I'm still looking for a Nintendo Switch deal, because sometimes Newegg on eBay will sell a Nintendo Switch for like $250, but they haven't done that in like a couple in like a month or two. So once that goes up, though, I'm gonna post it in my Black Friday video. And I know another person, I think Phoenix something, commented on that last night. So I am looking for that. Devin, I don't know if you're still with us because I heard you for a second, but we cannot hear you at all. So if you are, just shout in, shout out. I don't know, but you're probably gonna want to hang up because you're just you're probably just wasting your data right now. So he hung up. Get out of here, you loser. So I want to talk. So I do think that Red Dead's going to take it. I have not played any of them, actually. I'm not cool. I don't have every system. I'm just Nintendo Switch and everything Nintendo. I have a PS3 though, but from what I've seen of the gameplay and stuff, Spider-Man seems really cool and interesting. I don't think it will stand up to Red Dead Redemption. I pretty much think that Spider-Man is the Arkham Asylum type game where it's just mind-blowingly awesome, and overall I would probably enjoy that one the most. But when it comes to Game of the Year, I think Red Dead has it. Unlike God of War, even, because God of War seems a little more, I don't know, even though it sold a ton of games, it seems more still focused on Sony. Where in Red Dead, even though, it is not on Nintendo, it seems like that game can cross everywhere, just be with everybody. I mean, it's a Rockstar game, and we know Rockstar they only do great games, even if they are games that I don't really play, because I'm not a Grand Theft Auto fan, but I know that game is solid. You know what I mean? I think it's Red Dead's year.
I agree. I think Red Dead, it's got the hype right at the award season time anyway, which usually helps. Spider-Man, I think looks amazing. I haven't played Spider-Man yet. I haven't played Red Dead. Spider-Man, while seems fairly new and innovative, just is a really good Spider-Man game, and I think the Arkham Asylum kind of description is really right on. Like, this game blows my mind, but I don't know how much new it brought to the perspective or how much new it brought to the conversation of video games. In God of War, I think God of War would be the most likely to challenge Red Dead just because of how innovative it took a series and changed the series on its end. But at the same time, I have not seen as much hype for any game this year as Red Dead Redemption 2. And the innovation of just how much you can do in that game, and not to mention it crosses the line. If you're an Xbox fan, you can still get a hold of Red Dead Redemption, which you can't do with the other two games. And apparently the Xbox One X version brings a lot new to the table and is just apparently the most amazing version currently out there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it even beats the PS4 Pro. Like, they took the most advantage of the Xbox One X hardware.
Looks like Dan Caro is playing it right now. Hey, man, tell me, Dan Caro, what is, like, top 2? You don't have to pick your top 1, but top 2 favorite things about Red Dead right now. I wish Red Dead was, man, do I wish it was on the Switch, or I had a PS4 right now. It's Red Dead and Amazing Spider-Man are the 2 things that could push me over the edge to get a PlayStation, especially during Black Friday, because there's a $200 sale on PS4s with Spider-Man. So, I mean, that's a good deal, I think. Even though in probably a week, Spider-Man will be $20 everywhere, because that's what the third-party games tend to just drop in price so drastic. But whatever, you know, I still think that's a good deal. I'm probably not going to do it, but it is what it is. And Paradox, I agree with Asit Patel. They're probably going to release the GameStop Black Friday ad next week, because this weekend is actually at GameStop an Elite weekend or a Pro weekend. And those Pro weekends, in my opinion, sometimes are better than a Black Friday weekend. And I believe that they're going to wait so they can keep pushing the Elite weekend, the Pro weekend, and then I bet Monday, because once Sunday hits, that Pro week is over, that Elite week is over. So I bet Monday we'll hear about the GameStop leak, because GameStop has to get it in soon, because everybody right now is planning Target or Best Buy or Walmart, but, you know, GameStop wants to be in that conversation. So, yeah, David, what did you say? What are you saying is going to be number 1, or why do you think your game of the year is going to be?
I mean, all signs point towards Red Dead, because, like mentioned, you know, the hype is kind of like it's just kind of riding straight into the end of the year. It came out at the right time. I mean, nominated games, those are 3 I will see. I could probably
they have to be.
But other games I'm blanking out on other games right now that could be up there as well.
But that's a sign that how great these games are. When you when it's like, oh, we have to fill 5 spots. It's like the Academy Awards. Let's throw one into that indie game. You know, nobody really knows.
Right.
Let me say this then. Okay, so Nintendo's probably not going to get it this year, because what could Nintendo do? So let's just pretend that this is, what is Nintendo's Game of the Year award? What does Nintendo get for Game of the Year? What do you think?
I mean, if the cutoff point, I don't know when the cutoff point where
we'll say today. Today's the cutoff point, and anything released after last year's. So Mario Odyssey was actually in the running for last year, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't get this year. Man, I can't even say it's.
And it could be anything that was released on a Nintendo system. Even I don't even care. It could be third party, like Starlink could be in this.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe even like a game that was maybe released on the eShop, you know, like a lot of indie games, kind of like Celeste or what's it called? Black Queen.
Oh, Killer Black Queen. Has that been released?
Killer Black Queen. I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh man, if it is, then I'm going to I need.
But I'm blanking out on Nintendo stuff, because like I said, the last notable big tentpole release that I can say was, you know, Mario Odyssey. And then you have like Super Mario Party and Toad's Treasure Tracker. But those are just, you know, those are ports that probably don't hold a candle up to the big guys.
Yeah, no. But Mario Party is not a port, though. But Treasure Tracker was. Yeah. Dead Cells, that's a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been like really, really on board with Dead Cells. Ironically, that was also the biggest news of the year, I believe, with the Dead Cells review. The
big seller this year for Nintendo was Octopath Traveler. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot too.
That could be enough. That could make enough noise to climb itself up there. You know, just because it's the best selling Square Enix title on a Nintendo system, if I'm correct.
I think so. I think we talked about it. I think I corrected you last time and said no. It's the best. it was the fastest, and then somebody looked it up and was like, no, he was right, I was wrong.
Yeah, so I'd say that. I mean, then you got to think of like, you know, My Life is Strange. I don't even know if the second part is out, but I know that the first one was in the running for Game of the Year as well, like a few years ago. So,
really?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about Life is Strange? I'm not sure if I said this actually before, but Life is Strange is based in the 90s. It was an indie game, whatever, and I never played it, but I read up on it, and in it, the character goes into their house and everything's all 90s, but the publisher, an indie publisher, was afraid of copyrights and stuff, infringement or whatever, and so they had SNES or a game console, and the character in the game picks up the games, and it's just, you know, generic games, kind of like a phone number in a movie, 555. Well, in the Nintendo Switch re-release version, the games are Legend of Zelda, Super Mario, and it was just like, somebody noticed it on Twitter, and they posted it on Twitter. Like, who notices these things? But they did, and then the publisher just said, oh yeah, I'm glad you noticed. Nintendo said we could. And it's just, to me, that's just another indication of Nintendo's willingness. I mean, that's not even the extra mile. That's like going completely out of your way to get something into a game and Nintendo to allow it. Who would have thought that Nintendo, this is where we would be with Nintendo in this day and age, when just, I think the Wii is when they loosened the reins, or the Wii U, but it was just, I mean, during the Wii, for sure, we wouldn't have this kind of interactment or to this scale.
Yeah.
I would say Octopath Traveler. You reminded me of that. I forgot, but Octopath Traveler would probably be, and I could see that actually breaking into, not winning, but breaking into Game of the Year for everything. Just so it'd probably be the token Nintendo thing, because at this point, I think they're going to be thinking, Nintendo deserves a token game. What could it be? What about you, John?
On the Switch, it's hard for me to think of Game of the Year on the Switch because all the things I've really enjoyed this year have been ports and things from previous years. Like Diablo 3 is the thing I am just inhaling right now. But I think for me as a retro gamer, and this is just me, like I think Octopath has got it on the actual awards. I think my Switch Game of the Year is Mega Man 11. I think that came out and touched the Mega Man, did exactly what we wanted Mighty Number 9 to do.
Yeah.
And then that still pays tribute to what came before, and just Capcom said, yeah, we can still do Mega Man. And I'm there's hints that Mega Man X is going to be down the line along these lines, but Mega Man 11 has been my Switch experience of the year.
Okay, hey, that's okay. I mean, I've not played more than the demo of Mega Man, but I could even tell that it was like, I was like, this is fan service right here. It's crazy. Like, just a couple years ago, everybody thought that that Mega Man was pretty much a dead character. Do you guys think, this was something that I've been kind of thinking about, because Nintendo just said that, or Sakurai for Smash Brothers just said, the last 5 characters, they're already picked. I let Nintendo do it, and so don't email me or give me any suggestions, because they're picked. Now, that was surprising to me, because for Sakurai to say that he let Nintendo pick it, he just stepped out, meaning that Sakurai's last pick was the Piranha Plant, which is hilarious to me if you think about it. Like, here's this dude who has the keys to the kingdom, so many kingdoms at his disposal, that Microsoft, one of Nintendo's biggest competitors, is like, oh, please let us be in. Please let us be in. Here, have whoever you want. Steve, Banjo, Halo. And Sakurai's like, Piranha Plant, you're in, buddy. And it's like, that's hilarious to me. But then we get 5 more characters, and he said he lets Nintendo pick it. And Nintendo, this is going to be interesting what these picks is, because this allows a completely different kind of mindset onto predicting these, because Nintendo can use these to strengthen relationships or call out a franchise. Like, this would have been a great opportunity to get Springman into the conversation of one of Nintendo's newest up-and-coming IPs, but they chose to put him a trophy. But whatever the case may be. But here's the thing. Does Smash Brothers resurrect games, genres even, like Mega Man? Literally, what did Capcom do with Mega Man for so many years? And then Mega Man, he enters into the Wii U and Smash Brothers, and now he's a prominent character in this Smash Brothers again. And when I say prominent, I mean he's in the trailers and stuff. You don't really see Game & Watch in the trailers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Game & Watch is there, but he's not in the trailers. I didn't see him get obliterated by all the Master Hands. So, do you guys think that games that Smash Brothers has the power to resurrect a character basically from the dead?
I don't think it's just Smash. Like with Mega Man, there is Mighty Number 9 as well. I mean, in Mighty Number 9, while the finished product was terrible, you still have the attention that the Kickstarter got.
Okay.
So, but I think Smash can serve as a starting point and a reminder, like, hey, people are still interested. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Castlevania. If Konami will be like hit over the head with the frying pan they need to be hit over the head with, and recognize, hey, there is some genuine interest in what's going on with these characters, and we'll maybe Smash plus whatever the mobile game and the re-release of Symphony of the Night could resurrect that. But I don't think it's just Smash alone, because you pointed out, like, there are a lot of like characters on the side that don't get the attention.
Yeah, but would anybody even know what, like,
Game & Watch?
Duck Hunt Dog hasn't got a sequel. He hasn't got a sequel since his reintroduction. But look at Pit. When Pit was introduced, was Pit in the Wii version, or whatever the case may be, Pit was a dormant franchise, and suddenly, I guess he's gotten a new 3DS game, and he seems to be in the conversation. Yeah. Like, he even got some speaking words. I bet there has to be another Pit game coming. It just seems like that Smash Brothers just brings so much attention to characters, and it's just like, oh, cool. I don't know. What do you think, David?
Yeah, like Jonathan said, Smash gets the conversation going. I mean, it's debatable if it resurrects franchises. I mean, I think Smash is responsible for making Fire Emblem what it is today, I think.
Yes, that's a great point. Absolutely great point.
We were playing Melee, and we literally, the American audience was like, who are these guys?
I remember that.
They're just, I was on the bus, man, riding to school, and I didn't have a GameCube yet, but I was hearing these guys saying, yeah, there's this guy named Roy, and there's this guy named Marth, and I'm like, that seems very unorthodox for Nintendo. You think of Pikachu and Kirby and Samus, but then to me, they just seemed like cartoon characters, where I was like, they don't make sense. But then you see the history that Fire Emblem has way back in the Famicom days, and it predates a lot of franchises too. So I mean, for example, look at Bayonetta. Bayonetta sold kind of lukewarm, and then she was announced for Smash and broke. No one could find the first print run of Bayonetta anywhere. So I mean, I think the catalyst is Smash Brothers, but I don't know if it can successfully bring anything back from the dead, but it can definitely get the conversation started for sure.
Yeah, that is an excellent point about the Fire Emblem. It literally, I remember, because I was still before I found Peach, I had some really good people playing against. I played against a bunch of, like, we weren't a college dorm because we were like 25, 27, but my friends and I, we just pretty much, we played Smash Brothers all the time at my house. It was all, people called us like a frat, even though we weren't, and none of us went to college or anything. We were just like, we just all piled into my house, and we just played the heck out of stuff. And yeah, like Roy, Marth, we were like, who are these guys? We thought they were just a specially made character, some generic, pretty much the Mii fighters, before Mii's were ever around, because we just didn't know what they were. And the internet wasn't the internet back then, so you didn't just have spoilers and this, so you're just like, oh, okay. It's not until you get their trophies that you really figure out who these people are, and even then you're like, Fire Emblem. And it wasn't until Fire Emblem Awakenings, I believe, because yeah, there was Path of Radiance and Radiance Dawn, but it wasn't until Awakenings did the American audience, I guess pun intended, wake up to Fire Emblem as a solid franchise. I actually caught it before Awakenings, but whatever, I had no idea who Roy and Marth was. Mm-hmm. And the only thing really cool about Roy was that chant, Roy's our boy, Roy's our boy, at Melee. So.
On that, can I ask, what would we want to see of series represented in Smash now? What would we want to see resurrected coming out of Ultimate?
Okay, so we have 5 picks. Let's just pretend there's only 5 left to go. I would love to know if anybody in the comments want to throw a suggestion as well at us.
Do we want to limit?
What would Nintendo
do we want to? Yeah, do we want to limit like first party or third party picks?
Anything, because like I said, I believe that Nintendo's going to use these 5 and leverage it. For all they know, that's it. So I could see them leveraging, like, hey, you're going to put Banjo and Kazooie? Give us a game? Okay, well, we'll put them in Smash to hype it up. Let's assume. I could see, because Sakurai is such a man of the people, I could actually see Sakurai bumping Waluigi up as number 80, just to freak everybody out. But I could also see him totally ignoring it. I mean, not actually Sakurai. I could see Reggie doing that as his final, like, all right, guys, shut up. but let's just move on. To be honest, do you guys believe Geno has a chance yet? Does Geno have a chance? Be honest.
I'll let Jonathan go first.
Do we know who Geno is? Geno is the Super Mario RPG guy. He's had, as far as I know, he had 1 cameo also in a Mario and Luigi handheld RPG game. Because a lot of people were saying that Geno can never get in because he's owned by Square Enix. But then I was like, well, if he had a cameo in a Mario Luigi game, that would imply Nintendo actually has the rights to use him, if not flat out own him. Plus, we got Cloud.
I want to hope so, but it's Nintendo, so I won't. They're not well known for listening to people. I would expect, well, if they're going to listen to on anything, it'd be Waluigi. But it would be nice if he got in, and then this was also the hint that Square Enix and Nintendo are working on a Super Mario RPG 2.
Yeah, there you go. Talking about resurrecting a series, because, woo baby, would that light the world on fire? Okay, yeah. So give me, who do you think's getting in?
I think maybe like I really like the idea of Mach Rider coming in.
Okay.
Just because the character is canonically, I think, is unisex. You can kind of have like a male-female counterpart to satisfy both sides, I guess. But I mean, Mach Rider was like a racing game similar to Excite Bike, right? That'd be really interesting if they could bring that to the forefront. And maybe, I mean, Mario Kart is such a big success, and I still hear a lot of people clamoring for F-Zero, but
F-Zero's the big one.
If you ask me, whatever itch I have for a racing game, Mario Kart scratches it.
Yeah,
so I've never really had a craving for F-Zero, even though I like the franchise. So yeah, I don't know. Bringing Mach Rider to the forefront, I don't even know if like the franchise would be, would even be, like if they brought back that franchise, would it even fill in a spot? Would it fill in any type of void that is missing? I don't know. So
It would be tough to make Mach Rider right now because the 5 when you got the fight when you're down to the final 5 and you know it's the final 5, it's tough. You know, it'd be one thing to introduce Mach Rider in like where I don't know when had it been Ken, then Mach Rider, then Incineroar, that would have been a good spot. You know, right smack in the middle. But when it's like, okay, there's only 5 left, and people are wanting Banjo-Kazooie and this and that, then it's a tough one. Asit Patel says Travis. I think Travis would be a good pick because of Travis Strikes Back that is about to come out. That would be then Nintendo leveraging. Plus, I don't know, is Travis considered an indie hero? I don't know if is he indie? Is he? Anyone know?
I think he's part of that whole indie showcase that they had a year ago.
So he is indie.
And so, I mean, just because the studio Grasshopper, led by Suda51, that guy. I think when No More Heroes 1 and 2 was released 10 years ago, I don't think those were indie games. I think those were published by like
I want to say Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah. That's what's coming to mind.
That's
and
weird
then now
that they can publish, they can go indie.
Yeah, I think they wanted to do more of a grassroots, lower budget thing to see if the IP still had some like a heartbeat, and then maybe Nintendo would kind of like Bayonetta 2 would publish like a No More Heroes 3 or something if this is successful.
Gotcha.
So yeah, putting Travis Touchdown in Smash would be pretty would be a good move that would be a Nintendo move if Nintendo's picking characters at this point.
Yep. Hey, Veronica David, aka David's mom, how are you tonight? You know who also I was thinking when you mentioned Bayonetta, who I was very opposed to her getting in, but now I'm glad because everyone's back, you know, whatever. And now that she's getting on her 3rd game, I'm kind of happy, I guess, but she still seems way out of place in Smash Brothers to me. But that said, I think, what if we got character number 101, Red? They do a sequel, and we get Red from 101 into the game, because that's a very lesser-known title. Nintendo has a great relationship with Platinum Games. We could get that, and that would also then give a spotlight to that series.
Yeah.
There's been at least a tease of a port for that, and so I think you could maybe see that, like I said, being the catalyst for the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And another that would hit a nostalgia, Beautiful Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Get him in, and he's already been in like a bunch of Capcom versus whatever games.
Yeah, and that would kind of he would satisfy both the Capcom side and also the Platinum, because Platinum is the Platinum Studio is Clover Studio from back in the day, where Clover Studio made Beautiful Joe, and they also made Vanquish on the PS3, and a lot of those guys split up and became Capcom devs or Platinum devs. So yeah, Beautiful Joe kind of like, in a way, would satisfy both companies, but he would fit right into Smash if you ask me.
Yeah, he definitely would. He has that flashiness and all that stuff. Oh yeah, the wolf. Oka. What is that? How do you pronounce that?
Okami?
Huh?
Okami?
Okami, yeah. That one also would be a really good fit. Yeah. And it would be even double cool if then they threw in Wolf Link, because then you could have 2 wolves fighting each other.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I really think, I know people might say it's out of place, but I think what Capcom's next to Monster Hunter, their biggest franchise, is Resident Evil. I think a Resident Evil rep would be really cool, because their history with Nintendo goes back way back, 20 years now, I think.
That's true. And if they did one, to me, it would have to be the guy from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Leon.
But I could see Nintendo really shying away from that, even though they got Snake and even Bayonetta. I know Sakurai just doesn't like having too many guns in Smash Brothers, like real guns.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy is so rooted in the real world that it would be hard to, like, what would he do that's not? But then again, Nintendo is the person or the entity picking the 5, and Resident Evil's about to come out.
I mean, he's every time I see Sakurai put something else in Smash, whether it's an assist trophy or a sticker or whatever, I start to really see what kind of guy he is. He is a fan of games for sure, like many of us are. I mean, look at the latest assist trophy. Her name is Yuri from Fatal Frame. Like,
yeah, I was surprised by that one.
Like that just says that he's like a, I don't know, like a connoisseur of games, because he I mean, that came out of nowhere. And I think Fatal Frame only existed on the Wii, right? I mean, I know it existed in like the PlayStation as well, but
yeah,
for
I'm not 100% sure.
For Nintendo consoles, I think it was only on the Wii. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up.
Let me address a question from Paradox524. He says, do you think the Smash Brothers Edition Switch is worth it? I don't have a Switch yet, but I want to play Smash on launch day. Is it possible to get Piranha Plant if I get that form of the digital copy? The answer to everything you say is yes. Do you think the Smash Edition is worth it? Yes. I have a video, Paradox, of me doing an unboxing of the Smash, and I have it right. Oops, I have it right here. But let me pop it. Let me get it for you. This is your Smash Brothers Switch, and for one, the box looks really cool. But do you have to pay extra? A lot of people don't want to pay extra. Retail on this baby is $360, give or take, tax and whatnot. And that is pretty much retail, because a Switch is retail $300 and the game itself is retail $60. So you pay $360 for this. Now, I really want the dock too, and that is the big selling point. This dock right here, which has the original 8 characters from Smash Brothers N64, Super Smash Brothers, and then it also has this Joy-Con as well. A lot of people say this is a little lackluster, and I guess I can see their point, but whatever. So you get this really cool box, and then you get the cool dock, and this. The Switch itself is... There's nothing special about it in regards to the backplate or anything like that. The Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee backplate actually has something. The Switch dock does not. Again, you can watch my unboxing video. The back is just this. Now,
that's pretty cool.
The back, I like it a lot, and you get all of the characters.
The renders have grown on me, if I can interrupt. The renders have really grown on me because I really, actually, my favorite renders for Smash have been the Wii U ones. They're I don't know how to describe it.
When you say render, do you mean just like, what do you mean?
The actual 3D render that you see there of each character model.
Uh-huh.
I prefer the Wii U ones, but they've grown on me.
What's the difference between them?
I don't know. I think the saturation and the color is a little bit different. There are some more muted colors, and they go for more realistic tones, like Ridley's skin and Dr. King K. Rool's scales are more of a realistic color, whereas like if they would be in the Wii U ones, they would be more of like a stylized cartoonish.
Gotcha.
So, but they at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. So.
Well, no, I mean, I think that it all adds to it. So, I mean, and I was telling my wife about yesterday. I was like, I love David on the show because he fills in gaps that I really don't care about, like the art, like the fine details of the art and the music, and you can list off a bunch of Japanese people. I can't even pronounce. It took me 30 years to pronounce Miyamoto. So, like, I'm glad when you throw those kind of details out. Never shy away from that. EPS 5000, what's up, man? And Paradox, yes, it is a full game download. It comes with the download code right off the bat, but it is not accessible until December 7th. But that also means it's accessible right at 12:01 a.m. I don't know if that will be your time zone or if once Eastern Standard Time hits, everybody gets it. Probably just your time zone. Also, I will say this. You get your Piranha Plant no matter what if you have registered your game by, I think, the 31st of December, meaning you go and buy a Switch you go and buy the Let's Go Pikachu Switch, whatever, and then you buy a physical version of Smash Brothers. The moment you put it in your system, I believe it's automatically registered. Then when the Piranha Plant comes out, because the Piranha Plant will not be ready until 2019 as of right now, but you will just get a free Piranha Plant. Most likely it'll be an email, but it could be anything at that point. Or if you buy a digital download that isn't that will also happen. Whoever does a digital download or plays the game on their Switch by December 31st gets a free Piranha Plant. Now, if you don't, you get it December or January 1st. You've missed out on the free. See, EPS 5000 says to register, you have to press plus and redeem your coins. Okay, so that's good to hear. Thank you, EPS, because that means it's not an automatic. It is not an automatic register. So make sure you do register. You hit plus when the game. I vaguely remember that now. How does registering the digital copy work? I know with physical, you hit plus or something and go from there. Is it the same for digital? I think digital, no. Digital is just automatically registered. That one I know because I buy digital games and then I suddenly have X amount of gold coins to use. Now, when it comes to, what was I saying? Oh, the Piranha Plant. So, if you miss out on the free Piranha Plant, you can just buy it later on. Kind of like they did with Mewtwo for the Smash Brothers on Wii U, 3DS. Mewtwo was free for a certain amount of time, and then Mewtwo was just up for grabs. So Piranha Plant will probably always be $3 to $4 after the fact. And so when does it end? December 31st is when the cutoff of a free Piranha Plant ends. So thank you guys for those questions.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a question for you guys. So going back to Sakurai saying that Nintendo is, he let the reins. He essentially just kind of went the ignorance is bliss route, and he said Nintendo's picking these guys now because it's probably too stressful for him. That being said, do you think that rules out Banjo or Microsoft rep?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, the other side of the coin is while they're one of Nintendo's biggest competitors, they're also one of Nintendo's biggest third-party publishers in that they publish Minecraft. Mm-hmm. So they have a good working relationship with Nintendo. Phil Spencer has talked about being at third-party events with Nintendo. I mean, they worked out the playing together online without Sony. They've worked that out long ago. I think they have a good relationship. I think Microsoft is in a place where they have to play ball. And I think Nintendo and Microsoft teaming up to go after Sony would be a very likely thing for this as this generation rolls to its conclusion.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I think Microsoft knows that. I mean, if you were to just put all three in a race for this current generation, it's clear that PlayStation has won with flying colors, right? That's just fact. They've sold a lot, and Microsoft's Xbox has sold a lot as well, but they weren't the leading competitor, right? And Nintendo, I would argue, isn't even really.
It's a different thing.
It's like in a league of its own. But so I think Microsoft sees that they're not going to win this current generation, so I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get a leg up on Sony for next generation, play nice with Nintendo, kind of reconstruct a bridge between themselves, and then when the new race starts, you better believe that Microsoft is going to be, kicking ass, taking names kind of thing. I think they're kind of like, if you look at everything that they've been allocating for the last couple years, buying these like studios that are small or unknown. They're doubling down on like their big franchise like Halo and Gears, and they're probably trying to really create like these young teams for new. They want the first party support like Sony has the first party support. I think they see that PlayStation is killing it in the first party game, and they want that. Microsoft wants that. They're hungry. So I think for now they're just kind of being very they're just kind of chilling out, talking to Nintendo, playing nice with them, having Phil Spencer hang out with Miyamoto and them. But I think when the next race starts, it's going to be different. So that being said, I think Banjo or a Microsoft rep is possible because of that, but I don't think it will be possible in the future, in my opinion.
Oh man, that would suck if we always want to have everybody, but then Microsoft just turns and says no after we get Banjo, if that happened. Yeah, I think Microsoft they have been acquiring studios. I think they have given up per se, or they've bunkered down to say, yeah, we might have lost this battle, but the console war will heat up again, and they're planning their Counter-Strike next year. I mean, we've already seen there's a bunch of they're doing just pure streaming consoles now. You can put controllers on anything, and it's pretty crazy where they're going, and they might have gotten that idea from the Nintendo Switch, or at least said it's time for us to go that route. Mm-hmm. And is Microsoft like a sleeping giant right now? Because you're right, PlayStation kind of they knocked it out of the park quick on the PlayStation, and they didn't start making their mistakes until last year, really, and they even started to recover from those mistakes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I still see a scenario because of the Switch is going to be vastly different from the next generation consoles, but the Switch is still going to be in play for the next generation for at least 2 or 3 more years into it, I would assume. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still a freshly new guy. I'm still kind of wondering if Microsoft is looking at a streaming service, and Microsoft as an overall company, services is their model right now. What can we get you to subscribe for? As people are moving to this streaming to Switch, with Capcom and Ubisoft streaming their bigger titles, trying to see how they stream their. I wonder if Microsoft would not keep the good relation with Nintendo, not as a competitor, but as another platform where they could just sell their streaming service. And I'm wondering if that's a reality. It's a tough call, because if they do that, ability to play Assassin's Creed on a tablet with Microsoft controllers that attach to anything, and Microsoft has the capabilities. I mean, they were a computer company first, They have those capabilities of all of that stuff. And yeah, we are all like, the 3 of us are probably physical before digital. But when you only release these indie games on a digital like Celeste, well, we're just going to buy it. We don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. We're just going to do it. And EPS 5000, I'm with you. I don't like the idea of streaming games. There's just so much that I don't like the idea. Now, I will say this. Even though I have a Nintendo Switch, and it's portable, and those little cards are so tiny, I do get annoyed because it's a first world problem. I'm just so accustomed to everything now, and I'm a big fat American, but it's like, I do get annoyed when I have to switch out just to play one game of Tetris. It's just so, I'm almost like, should I just buy Tetris digital? Just that one. But the moment I start doing that, it opens like a Pandora's box. And it also shows companies what people are willing to do, to the point that maybe Nintendo would eventually say something like, oh no, we'll let you still have Mario Odyssey on a physical, but Mario Kart, yeah, let's just go digital on that one. And then people, you know what I'm saying? And then slowly, it's just everything's digital streaming. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wanna physically own it, taste it if I want, because I have a taste. And Paradox asks about the new Switch or the Switch XL. Yeah, that's coming. Nintendo always, even though it's a console, it's still a handheld, and Nintendo always updates their handhelds, and I hope they do because I want the Switch to be here forever.
Mm-hmm.
With the Forbes article and everything talking about the Switch refresh that's coming, am I like alone in thinking this is going to be much more akin to like what the 2DS? Because we're coming to the year where the actual Pokemon is going to come out. And so the 2DS was released so kids could hold it. Is this possible refresh not the cheaper version that kids can hold and throw around? That's what I've been wondering about, hearing about the Switch refresh. That it's not like an Xbox One X, but maybe this is more akin to the Switch's 2DS.
Yeah. Oh, Ken gone?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I think it's you're onto something because I think I read a quote by the president, the new guy, Furukawa, right? He was saying how he wants more Nintendo, or he wants multiple Nintendo Switches per household.
Yeah.
So I think if they were to like consolidate the system and make it kind of more of like a uniform body to where it's maybe you can't remove Joy-Cons, maybe it's smaller, maybe the basic rudimentary functionality of the Switch is there, but not all the bells and whistles, just for like kids can just throw Pokemon in there or Mario or whatever. I think I can maybe even see two models. The basic model, the one that I just described, and then maybe even like a beefed up version where it's like 4K or something. I mean, I'm wishing there, you know? But
yeah, honestly, John, that's a great point. One that I didn't even think of. I was thinking along the lines of, Nintendo always upgrades to an XL, but they also always downgrade as well, which is interesting to think about. What if, oh man, because it'll be the YouTube or the Twitter crowd that has a fit if that's the case, because everybody right now is expecting an XL or a better chip or this or that, and you know, and we do it to ourselves. We get our expectations so high, and then we're like, oh, Nintendo, you're the reason why there's hunger in the world. And it's, I never thought of the Switch like that. But yeah, my kid's 6 and he's asking for a Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just ask for games? You're lucky. You got a dad who, like, you're going to pretty much have every video game ever at your disposal. So don't ask for a $300 system. Just ask for a $60 game, and you'll get 6 games instead of one system. I'm trying to trying to teach him like how to work the system of
make the system better.
But yeah, that's a great point, John. That actually might be worth a video. You should do a video on that since you're the Bandana Gamer. If you don't, I'm going to.
We could do a code video on that.
Oh, there we go. So, okay, so what do you guys think about Pokemon Let's Go? Let's talk about that, because that's the next one. I think it's because we're like such hardcore gamers and this Pokemon isn't a core Pokemon, that even though it's going to be huge, I think in our world, our minds, our audience, we've been all focused directly on Smash Brothers when Nintendo's about to drop a nuclear bomb on the world. I mean, we're talking the Pokemon craze. It has its ups and it has its downs, but when it's up, everybody is talking about it. Kids in Africa are talking about it. Is anybody like really pumped about this, or what's going on? David's like, Pokemon.
I mean, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Pokemon Silver is one of my favorite games of all time. I am very split on this one, and I think that's kind of everyone's. I mean, there's either really hardcore, from the hardcore crowd, there's negative reaction, or there's this like, it's kind of what I want.
Okay, well, here's the thing. This is a perfect setup, because Paradox, and you can just answer this, John. Paradox asks, is that a real Pokemon game, or what's the deal with that? I'm still really confused. Unconfuse him, John.
So it is kinda, I think, is the best answer. So you're taking the original Pokemon Kanto region. They're using an updated graphical engine, which I'm kind of wondering if this overlay is not what the future Switch Pokemon is the main next generation. You've scaled back to 150, so in a way, it's a remake of the original.
Okay, the original with blue,
red,
blue, and then eventually Pikachu yellow.
Yeah, I guess it's more. Should say it's a remake of Yellow, since Pikachu is featured so prominently. The biggest thing is the capture mechanic is different. You still have gym battles. You can still battle other trainers with the Pokemon you capture.
I thought the gyms were gone, but they're master trainers now or something like that.
I think that's just with Sun and Moon. I could be wrong on that. I can look that up. But the biggest thing is the capture mechanic is actually taken from the cell phone game, Pokemon Let's Go. It will incorporate the Joy-Cons as motion controllers, so you'll be able to flick and throw the Pokeballs, but you're not actually battling to capture. You're playing something much more akin to Pokemon Go to capture your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, but Skyward Sword is a core Zelda game, but you had to actually swing the Wiimote, and yet it's still the core. Is this a remake? Is it when they do like Ultra Sun? Ultra Sun, is that a remake of Sun?
Ultra Sun was just an enhanced kind of port, or it's kind of, there's newer features with Ultra Sun compared to regular Sun. Pokemon Sun Substance kind of distilled the Metal Gear.
Yeah.
So which one then is canon?
So this one upcoming is not the new next generation Pokemon game.
Right. But is it still canon akin to Pokemon Ultra Sun? It just pushes Sun out of the way and say, okay, I'm the canon now.
I wouldn't assume so. I would assume that those are just both occupying kind of different. I mean, because there's always been side Pokemon games. There's like Pokemon Conquest, Pokemon Ranger. I think this is kind of closer to the main series. This is a whet your appetite, kind of a side game, pull in the people from the cell phone game. But this is not the main canonical thing. This is just we need a Pokemon on the Switch right now. And this touches a nostalgia button with it being the original area. But I don't think this is going to be the new mechanic. I don't think this is how the next generation Pokemon is going to play.
Right, but like I said, Skyward Sword, that's not the new mechanic. It just was the mechanic for that game. Is this canon?
I don't know if I'm looking at canon the same way you are. I mean, I think it's canon, but I don't think there's the main generation Pokemon games, your Red, Blue, Silver, Gold. I don't think this is in vain with those. I think this is much more akin to Pokemon Conquest and Pokemon Ranger.
Okay, so this will just be what you're saying is you think, as our resident Pokemon expert, and EPS 5000 looks to be pretty well versed on it as well. So he says it's akin to all the other remakes, Heart Gold, Leaf Green, with a new catching mechanism. So it seems like EPS 5000 is saying that maybe it is kind of just pushing the other one out and saying, okay, we're the new canon. And you're kind of saying that no, it's more of an alternate timeline where in this timeline you have this going on. It's just very similar. It's almost like the mirror universe, if you will, of Star Trek.
I don't know if if you're talking story canon, I think they're both canon. I think what you have with these is you always have the main generations, but they never tell a continuous story. Like even the gym trainer is different each time. They work the same basic premise, but they just occupy a different part of the world. And so I think this is going back. If this pushes anything out, I think it's such a remake of the first one that it is the first one with updated graphics.
Okay. So it's almost like you're just replaying the first one.
Yeah, you're just making the first one more accessible for a newer audience, since the first one's like 20 years old at this point.
Okay. What Okay, what's your thoughts on this, David, with all we talked?
Not a big Pokemon expert guy, but yeah, my favorite Pokemon game of all time was also Silver. almost 20 years ago. And I think what I noticed though is they've had some fan service in this game. With I think I saw that the inclusion of Leaf, who's a character that has I don't think has seen the spotlight in 20 years as well. She was seen in some like promo art back in the day, and I don't know if she's made an appearance since, but I saw a bunch of people on my Twitter feed just going crazy whenever they saw these scans or these pictures of her and her Pokemon. And I guess I don't know, man. I don't get in. I know the Pokemon lore runs deep, but I'm not. I don't know. I like watching theories sometimes about the theories that people just make on YouTube. They're entertaining, but I really don't know where it falls. If anything, this is probably the most, in a weird way, this is Game Freak probably, or the Pokemon Company, trying to say that this is the definitive version of play Pokemon Yellow or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the mechanic is new. It's like a fresh coat of paint. But ultimately, I think it falls as like a stepping stone to what's to come. I don't think it's gonna probably even use the same engine or maybe even the character models. I've seen the hype train go up and down for this game. To be honest, when it was first announced, people were like, "Wow, this is crazy," and then the hardcore fans are saying, "Well, it looks really easy," and the moves are called kind of silly names like Splishy Splash, and
that's part
whatever.
of the charm to me.
and I know all day long, buddy. I know it's losing some points in with certain people, but I see it as like
Splishy Splash. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Splishy Splash, and there's another one that's called like, I don't know, balloon. Like Pikachu flies up with balloons, and then like Kamikaze like hurts another Pokemon. So I don't know. I think also it's kind of like they're trying to appeal to the Pokemon Go fan base, which is actually it's huge. I have people at work that I would never suspect that they are Pokemon fans, and they ultimately aren't Pokemon fans, but they do it because of the scavenger hunt quality to the game, the community quality to the game, where they're going out every Saturday to these meets across town, and they're going to go do a raid, or they're going to go do a Ponyta raid or whatever. I don't play Pokemon Go. I played it for the first couple weeks. But so I think they're just kind of just experimenting in a way. You know what I mean? I know the base game is Pokemon Yellow. They know that. I think maybe the fans got a little bit, their expectations are a little bit kind of too high for the game. But rest assured, next year there's going to be a main entry to the Pokemon. Yeah, there's too many games, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't get through them all. So that's why I just say let it cook, man. Let the games cook,
Are you more excited about this one or the core, since you're not the hugest Pokemon fan?
I'm excited for this one. It's I played, my friends like on 20 years ago, I was playing Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow at recess when my friends would let me play it. And it wasn't until Silver where I actually had it and I played the entire thing and I beat the Elite Four. And that's honestly probably the only Pokemon game that I've beaten. I played Diamond up to the Elite Four, and then I found out there was a new game plus, and I was like, I'm done with this. I love the Pokemon franchise for a lot of things. But it does get repetitive, I have to admit. There is a lot of repetition there, and it gets stagnant a little bit. And they change it up a little bit with Z moves and Z evolutions and all that good stuff. The fan base is big, but obviously I crave for like a MMO type of RPG big game like that. You know, that'd be really cool. But
And we got to remember this. Let's Go. This game is still making tons of money on the App Store. It's like routinely like number 3 or 4, and that's under like Candy Crush and stuff like that are just always going to make $1 billion. And we'll need to talk about apps in a minute because of the Buzz or the BlizzCon debacle. But I see William Olds have joined us, our buddy William. We miss you, buddy. He'll be with us next week, and he's actually going to go see the Pokemon movie next week, so maybe we'll get a review or something. And EPS and William are saying they have pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it as well, but I actually probably going to cancel my pre-order and then do an unboxing of the Eevee version, and then I'll have to sell it because people are like, wow, you spent a lot of money on Switches. I'm like, yeah, but I just ended up selling them for like a couple bucks less. I pretty much just do it to get video content, evergreen content for the YouTube channel because I've been sitting at 800 for too long. I want to break that 1,000 mark. That's my next big thing. Seeing the movie the day after Black Friday. Ooh, good luck with that. I'm sure that'll be a fun time for all retailers. So, what else, guys? So, is there anything else you can tell me that you're excited about or you don't like about Let's Go Pikachu? This is big in the news, so let's give it a proper amount of time. Just tell me anything. What's your...
I'm excited on a personal note. Like, my wife, the only Pokemon game she's played is Go. And I'm excited that we all get to have this conversation. Like, there's a chance to bring in people from mobile to console. And I think, yeah, that'll kind of something we'll talk about later is mobile versus console. Like, these don't have to be against each other. I think they can actually serve to bounce back and forth. And I think Pokemon Go, Let's Go Pokemon, is the first that's going to actually kind of push a more unified and successfully on a mainstream front. I'm excited that the people that are on the Pokemon Go side will maybe have a chance to drift in through Let's Go.
Yeah, they are definitely doing a good kind of... This might be the best crossover. Is this the best crossover ever in regards to mobile and stuff? Because, I mean, this isn't just oh, yeah, we figured out a way to include this app. This is like, from the ground up, we are including this app.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is, I think, the first time the app actually influences the game.
Yeah.
First game influencing the app, and the app almost being a thing. I think the app had such an overwhelming response, and as you point out, like, while it's died off and nowhere near where it was when it started, it's still a huge moneymaker. And David talked about there are groups that get together of business people. Like I work in a major city, and like I will walk and see people in suits. Doing a raid battle. And so I think to have something that then kind of leads back to the console game is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. EPS 5000, I'm not sure. He's a big Joy-Con fan. Are you guys big Joy-Con fans? Like, you click the Joy-Cons or not really? Anyone?
If I could, I would. I mean, I say that because I wanted, for a year, I wanted those red Mario Odyssey ones. And they still haven't like released them separately. You have to import them, I think.
Yeah, Japanese get all the cool toys. They actually are going to sell the dock for Let's Go Eevee, and I believe the Joy-Con's separate. But I'm not sure if they're doing it for Smash. But I bet they will, and I don't think they should. If they want to keep selling, just make people buy those stupid bundles because people like me will. Because I'm definitely going to get... Like, I'm keeping my Smash bundle. The Let's Go Pikachu one, I am not sure. And EPS 5000 says, yeah, if you want them, you got to import them. Because he is definitely a collector of Joy-Cons. And so is Devin. Devin would be great for this conversation. What's your guys' favorite Pokemon? Do you have a favorite?
Well, Silver's my favorite of the main RPG series. It refined so much of what the first one did. It's told stories, and I don't think they've elevated quite as much as they did every generation since. Like the first to the second game was an amazing just perfection of the formula, and then everyone else has just never hit the same note the same way. Still great games.
Uh-huh.
But the second generation Silver And then my favorite side game I'd say is Conquest, which is kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics with Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. It's like a dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Silver. It's the first Pokemon game that I owned and that I beat. And so it just strikes everything I like about Pokemon. It was like I was following the show really close at the time, and we were always, we heard rumors that there was another 150 Pokemon, and we were just saying that, oh, there's going to be evolutions for this Pokemon and this Pokemon, and we saw these. It was just the transition from Gen 1 to Gen 2 was, in my opinion, the best transition out of all the generations. We've had some weird jumps, and I'm not even going to say, oh, trash can't be a Pokemon, ice cream can't be a Pokemon. I let the artist's representation of Pokemon speak for themselves, because Gen 1 and Gen 2 have their share of weird Pokemon too,
Yeah, Mr. Mime.
Yeah.
And he still gets play too. He was in the Sun and Moon cartoon.
Yeah, and I don't know if I know I talked to you about this, Ken, but Jonathan, I don't know if you saw that that there was a leak back in the summer, where there was a leak of the beta version of Gold and Silver, where 20 years ago, Space World 97, they someone took like a really grainy picture with like a camcorder or something, and it showed Pokemon that no one recognized. And so for the longest time, people were like, these Pokemon are real, it's shopped. And then there was people on the other side of the fence that were saying, whoa, there could be a ton of Pokemon that were scrapped, essentially. And that leak proved to be right. There was several Pokemon, beta versions of Pokemon that were cut, that were left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
And they even found that one Pokemon that was in the screenshot. And I loved that leak so much, because apparently it was from like a private collector in Japan who died or passed away. And one of his, I don't even know if I want to say protege or whatever, but the guy that took his collection leaked the ROM online.
That is very cool.
And it's so crazy how everything just kind of aligned, because you follow these message boards, and these message boards were created 20 years ago. Literally, you look at the date and it says like 97, 98. And the same people that were there in the beginning are coming out now, and they're saying, this is a dream come true. This is exactly what we were dreaming of. So if you get a chance, and maybe you've already seen the leak, but
yeah, I'll definitely look that up.
It's very cool. It shows all the sprites. They're fully animated. They're not colored though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting. Ditto was supposed to have a pre-evolution and like a baby form, and Porygon 2 was supposed to look super different. There was a lot of really interesting things. So a lot of canned Pokemon that have made it in later versions, but redesigned. So I'd suggest you check it out. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it kind of falls in line with the one of those urban myths that just actually it was true, like the ET dumpster dive of our landfill. It's like, we have so many of these crappy games, let's just dump them in a landfill that nobody knows if it's true or not. And can you imagine that dude? He has this once in a lifetime ROM. He could have probably sold that for like $1 billion, and he just releases it online. That's a nicer guy than me. I would have probably sold it for $1 billion, to tell you the truth. So,
well, I mean, that's kind of this thing we're seeing more and more with video game preservation, and people coming together, like understanding we have a chance to document and save an art form. Because like you look at film, there are films that have been lost forever just because no one thought they were important. Same with comic book stuff.
Yeah,
people are getting now like, hey, video games, while fairly old now, are still in an infancy period, and we're still trying to make sure we don't do the mistakes of other mediums. And I think stuff like that is like just so cool. So we get to document this major historical moment in a franchise that wouldn't have been seen anywhere.
Right. That's you hit the nail on the head there. It kind of, the fact that it was an urban myth for the longest time, for 20 years, and then it becomes true. I mean, people were like, there's even a Twitter account just for the guys responsible of that forum or whatever, that community, and people were reaching out to Game Freak and saying, you know, pretty much they were asking him about the ROM leak, and they of course they were very, very proper with their response, saying that we don't comment on rumors or speculation, which is kind of breaks hearts a little bit. But it's like, I think they actually asked Ishikawa, the guy at Game Freak, the main guy, Jun Ishikawa, I think is his name. And they asked him about Pikachu was supposed to have a rumored third evolution. It was supposed to be him, Raichu. Sorry, fourth evolution. Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu. And there was supposed to be another one called Gorochu, which is like this really beefed up.
You guys, I gotta take a step out. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Don't let any dead air happen.
Sure. And he was supposed to be like this really beefed up Pikachu, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him, hey, so whatever, is this true? Was there supposed to be a fourth Pikachu evolution? And he pretty much said that I think once there were talks of it, but they didn't want to ruin the identity of Pikachu because he's so recognized in those three forms.
Mm-hmm.
that I guess it was ultimately scrapped or something. It's really interesting.
It's kind of weird though, like Pikachu and Raichu. I wouldn't necessarily say Raichu's recognized. Raichu's like one of the most disliked Pokemons, and Pichu was a later addition. It wasn't a first gen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised, but I guess after a while, like Pikachu's the moneymaker of the franchise.
Oh yeah,
it's just going to be that way. I don't think there's ever going to be a Pokemon, no matter how cute, how cool it looks. Totodile's my personal favorite.
Okay.
But that's very interesting that that's the reason they give not to mess with. Because I think you could go past. I think the idea of Raichu evolving further would actually make people fairly happy.
Well, I think he does have a Z form in Ultra, where he kind of like surfs on his tail or whatever.
Okay.
Which is very, very interesting. But it never really felt like an official evolution, because it's just temporary, right?
Yeah, the mega evolutions that Blastoise and Charizard.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Ivysaur does. That's a weird one where I feel like Digimon actually impacted the series, but that's a road we don't need to go down.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. No, but that's interesting that I wonder how many current Pokemon are going to change with this future title in 2019. I don't know if there's going to be callbacks to the original 150 or 151. It's going to be interesting because I know that there's already going to be a new 150 set of Pokemon probably. So
I would expect them to continue with what they did on Sun and Moon, where there's not just going to be new Pokemon, but there's going to be other forms. Like you're going to have Pokemon, like you're going to have a Rattata that looks slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that. I'm expecting that's going to explode. We're going to just continue to have more variations, which to me, there's a level of complexity that Pokemon just can't get to. And I'm kind of worried, like, as we go into future generations, like, how do you keep a series fresh when you really cannot do, like, what Final Fantasy has done?
Yeah.
Without it becoming stagnant and just going somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why I really feel they have to pull out the stops for this next title, because Final Fantasy has managed to change it up a little bit every single time.
Yeah.
And say what you want about, 13, but I think when I ask fans about, 13 seems to be a dip in the franchise for a lot of people, especially 13-2.
Mm-hmm.
I ask a lot of fans about the combat system, and they say that's actually their favorite. The paradigm shift combat system is their favorite ones of the entire franchise. So I feel like every entry is going to hit high notes and it's going to hit low notes. But going forward, hopefully, and then I do have my best friend. His favorite franchise is Final Fantasy, and he hated 15. He hated how too open it was. It wasn't linear like he liked it to be. It was just a little bit too much freedom in a way.
Grand Theft Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and speaking of Final Fantasy, I'm excited. Did they ever say when they're going to release the ports? 7.
Those are coming 2019. Or so, World of Final Fantasy we're talking about for the Switch, right?
Right.
World of Final Fantasy is coming out fairly soon. I want to say there's one more, but it's like Chocobo's Dungeon that'll be out this year, but everything else is 2019. I think you're going to see Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age first, then 10 and 10-2, the HD remaster, and then whatever they're going to do with 9.
Yeah, no 8, right?
No 8. Oddly, say what you will, it's still kind of odd to get everything but those, and then that to me, going back to the history, this is such a cool moment in video game history that those games specifically are coming to a Nintendo platform.
Yeah, it made so much sense. I actually called it before the direct. I was like, show me a Final Fantasy port. It's time. Cloud's in Smash. He's also in World of Final Fantasy, and that's coming to the Switch. And it was time. I think he actually appeared in the Final Fantasy. What is it called? Theater Rhythm. Yeah. He's in it for a little bit. So I was like, it just makes sense. The game is a time sink. It's a huge JRPG. And I feel like the Switch next to the Vita.
Oh, yes.
It's like a JRPG machine at this point. So
yeah, all publishers have gone to the Switch now.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's my prediction. I have a prediction for 2019. I feel like we'll get Persona 5 on the Switch.
Ooh, wow, that's a pretty that's a big one.
So everyone remember, come back to this video.
All right, Persona 5.
5
at the 11:23 mark.
Swinging for the fences here.
At this point, anything though. I mean, anything anything that has once existed can be on it right now. Who knows about tomorrow's games? But do you think we're gonna get a Metroid 4 trailer at the Video Game Awards? Last year they announced Bayonetta 3, and Nintendo keeping in line with trying to make everybody happy everywhere they go. Do you think we're gonna see Metroid 3 or 4 or something at the Video Game Awards?
I think we'll see a CG trailer. I don't know if we'll see gameplay. I think we'll see kind of the concept of story with the CG trailer, kind of where Samus is at in her journey. But I don't know if we're going to see gameplay or any substantial in-game footage, in my opinion.
I think I'm the same way. I know there's been rumors and speculation on who's developing since Retro's out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they've announced? I know Bandai Namco was.
I think that's them. Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah.
I would expect confirmation of the developer.
Yeah.
You'll see Nintendo, you'll see Bandai Namco, and then you'll see a CG game or narrative trailer, no gameplay.
Well, we still don't know. Platinum Games, they have 3 teams, ABC, and their C team made Korra. They also made the Ninja Turtles one and the Transformers one. man, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave Platinum Metroid, you know, because it's like they have a hefty staff. They know how to make really colorful games. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to either Platinum or Bandai Namco, because those guys they're like juggernauts, you know?
What if Platinum got like the Metroid Other M, like got to do like when there was Metroid Prime 3 and then Other M came out from, it was Team Ninja, I think.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, like, because what if they used like a Vanquish style game for Metroid?
That'd be pretty cool. Kind of, yeah, like in your face, kind of run and gun kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
I would really like that. I really would. I've always wanted to imagine a Metroid game that falls in line with like an ecosystem like Destiny. Like if you can just imagine Destiny but Metroid, where you're like flying out with bounty hunters, going on raids, customizing your gear and guns. That'd be that's a franchise that can live on for years and years and years if you do something like that. You know, and go to different planets and fight different enemies and get loot. If they make Metroid a loot-based game, but not like a shady loot-based game like EA does, you know, that would be pretty incredible.
I don't see the current Nintendo doing that.
Right.
That's an amazing idea. I cannot see that ever being something they would try to do.
Yeah.
Now, while Miyamoto's around, he just flat out said he hates loots. I would like to see a Metroid done in a survival horror aspect, like Dead Space, Asit Patel says. That's an interesting take on it. I could see that.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. I could see that. I think you could do that with Prime 4. I think that you could make Prime 4 a little bit darker and just kind of a little more on edge. And
survival horror.
Yeah, like if you think about Metroid, Super Metroid's intro, yeah, Metroid in this era could lend itself to that real easily.
Well, shoot, just think of that Smash trailer where they revealed Ridley. The dude just straight up murders 3 characters, you know? It's like...
He killed Mario, man.
I know, and then he didn't just kill Mario, then he insults him with the twirl. You know? It's like, man...
Not to get back to Smash, but I feel like they're hinting fatalities are coming to Smash.
Oh
that's just the thing.
That would be so awesome.
We've killed Luigi. We've killed Mario.
Dude, it's like Sakurai just went nuts this time. He killed the whole universe for Kirby.
Dude, he's Thanos, man. I'm telling you.
He's like, yeah, wow.
He snapped his finger.
Those memes are so hilarious. But yeah, Sakurai, like... I don't know, the dude needs some therapy right now because he's killing everybody.
Yeah, at this point he's like, screw everybody, everyone's dead now. Bye.
I can imagine that's how he feels, knowing what he has given of his life to that series.
Yeah.
Like, all he's sacrificed, like, screw it, I'm done. We're just kill them all.
Yeah, because you think about this, the dude's not even really he's not even making games per se. Like, he's not, I'm going to create this character and the story and this and that. He's just making characters to beat the crap out of each other. Which, I'm not saying that isn't, like, I mean, the guy's, like, he's up there in greatest of all time at this point. But he doesn't get that fun of creating the Zelda game. He has to figure out a way to make Link's sword cut up Luigi, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel like maybe his success is also his demise, where it's like he's pigeonholed as the creator of, well, I wouldn't say that's being pigeonholed. That's actually an amazing accomplishment, but I feel like it's also rooted him deep in the franchise to where he wouldn't want anybody else to take it on because it's his baby, essentially.
Hey, hang on one second. Hey, Paradox, thank you for joining us. My friend is about to stream Smash versus viewers, so I want to watch and participate. I'll see you around, man. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. You added a lot. I didn't get to your N64 leak. That's going to happen next year probably, though, if you want my opinion, but there's lots of reasons why. Not this year, though, but there's still time because the Nintendo Direct is going to probably happen on the 16th or 19th of this time. So appreciate your Paradox. Every Saturday at 11 Eastern Standard Time we're here, so hopefully you can join us next week or just watch the videos throughout the weekend. I'll let you know about any deals on my Black Friday video. David, go on.
Catch your breath, man. Catch your breath. I know we said we weren't going to talk about Smash Brothers, but that's impossible.
No, man, let's keep talking. Smash Brothers.
Like I remember an interview he did like 20 years ago when he left HAL Laboratory and he let those guys develop Kirby 64 Crystal Shards, and he was saying that it was too painful to do that, and so he just kind of like he just didn't bat an eye. He just kind of turned the other way and let them do what they wanted to do. And he's glad that he did that, because if he was micromanaging or if he was like hovering behind their necks, he felt like he would have tried to control too much. And so pretty much the point of the interview was saying that he's glad that he let off the brakes because he's glad that he put the brakes on because he let the franchise grow into something that he didn't expect. He loved the game. So for Smash though, I mean he took on Kid Icarus Uprising after Brawl.
Oh, he did Kid Icarus?
Yeah, for the 3DS, and he made that really fun. I know the big complaint there was like the controls and the fatigue, but I would be excited if he makes his own IP, his own brand new IP, and he just makes it his. And if he falls on his face, then he can always come back to Smash. I really want him to make his own IP, or maybe even go back and make Kirby Air Ride 2. That would be amazing if he did Kirby Air Ride 2.
Maybe he'll have time after this one, because if you think about it, he must have got the final downloadable character on the Wii U, and then Nintendo said, all right, we got a new system. It was like it just seems like, I know Smash Wii U came out in 2014, and that's like 4 or 5 years ago, but it seems like just yesterday. It literally seems like we just had a Smash. I was convinced this was going to be a port, but it's because of that downloadable content extended the life pretty much. And I think, because I think it went to 2016, we were still getting content. Maybe 15, I don't know. But, yeah, maybe he'll have time to actually get a game in. I don't know.
Well, I was trying to think, like, this is, even while that was a while ago, this is the quickest turnaround for a Smash?
Has to be.
It is.
Brawl was 2008, and then Melee was 2001, I want to say. So there's usually been about 7-8 years.
Except for maybe between the N64 version, but that almost doesn't count, because that seems like it was like a beta for Melee.
It was from announcement to release, this is the shortest, because Brawl I think was the longest. Brawl was announced in early 2006, because I remember the last day of school in 8th grade, I saw the trailer, and I didn't get that game until 2008, so almost 2 years later. And that was the longest wait of my life, to be honest. I was at the dojo every single day on that website, just checking up on updates. And so literally I was counting the days for that game. And then the Wii U was a year and some change. And then this one's 9 months. So,
but man, I'll tell you what, this one feels the longest. this one feels the longest. I remember when Ink Girl turned around and saw that big flaming logo in her eye.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
amazing.
Still long. Like, yeah. I need Pikachu to come out just so I have something to do. I'm trying to hold off on like some big games. I'm playing some Diablo right now. I want to do a review of it, but I've been just like playing a game called Bad North to just bide myself some time. I'm like, don't start anything. Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I'll get to play Let's Go Pikachu and stuff with my kid, and so that'll be fun. I'll get that aspect of it. You got any kids, John?
Well, I do not have kids. Well, I have 5 animals, but
yeah, what kind of animals?
That's about it. So,
what kind of animals?
We've got 3 cats and 2 dogs.
3 cats and 2 dogs. You ever play the game Cat Quest?
I have not played Cat Quest.
So I'm gonna actually release a video on Cat Quest. There's this game. It's Cat Quest. It's like you can tell they liked Zelda. Games nowadays they don't even hide the fact that like, oh yeah, we pretty much cloned. We just wanted to make a Zelda game, so we did, and we just put cats on it or something. And anyways, I did a review on it that I thought I was pretty fair with it. I thought this is what I said. I was like, don't buy the game if you've played a lot of RPGs. It doesn't give you anything new. It's not like there's just too many good games right now. If it was on the Wii U, yeah, this is a must-buy on the Wii U. But the Switch, there's just Diablo, Dark Souls, Cat Quest. Nah, just pass on it. But I said for casual gamers, like my wife, your wife, John, if she gets into the Switch after Let's Go Pikachu and stuff, get her playing Cat Quest. She would totally love this game. And it's a good game. Even for my kids, it's a great game, but it's just not like, But I wanted to think of like what you were saying, David, about how does every game have to be Game of the Year? What about the really solid B minuses of the world? So I don't know. I wonder if I was too hard on Cat Quest or not. I'm going to have my wife do a review of Cat Quest because I was like, maybe I was too hard on it. I just don't know. It's a solid game, but I thought it was a kiddie RPG. And I don't say that in a bad way. It's like, I don't judge Labo like I judge Breath of the Wild. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you need to fill in the voids and the cracks, and you got to swim in 7s sometimes, and I think 7s are very sweet. They cleanse palates. You know what I mean?
Right. The ginger of sushi.
Yeah. It holds you from one tent pole to the other. Like, I know the 2 time sinks that I've had in the Switch is Breath of the Wild, of course. I put like 150 hours, and Mario Odyssey, which I've actually only put about 60 hours, but I know there's so much content there. Also, you have your not a 7. This is a 10 in my opinion. Sonic Mania, which is
oh yeah.
I've said this a bunch of times, but it is the best soundtrack of 2017. I know that's my pick. It's so good. It's the composer. He's like I said, this was a dream team of a bunch of fans, and they made a Sonic game, and this guy was like kind of like the perfect choice for it. And if you just listen to the soundtrack, you don't even have to play the game. Just listen to it while you're at work or you're just, playing a game or whatever. It's like if Michael Jackson kept making music, you know what I mean? For Sonic is what I'm saying. Cause he made a couple tracks off of Sonic 3.
Michael Jackson
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, are you talking about the pop singer?
Right. Yeah. The Michael Jackson was involved with Sonic 3.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he wasn't involved in all the tracks. He was involved in some. But with the allegations that came up.
I need to know more about this.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, MJ, the guy, the moonwalker.
Yeah. The man in the mirror.
He liked Sonic so much he just made some music for it.
And Sega's initial Genesis days was get big people to do big things.
I mean, I know he had the Sega game, actually.
But yeah, the relationship from that allowed them to vet him to do Sonic 3 stuff.
Did he sing in it? Did he go, woo! And stuff like that?
I think there's a track where there is a vocal kind of like fanfare. It's Michael Jackson. He's putting his flair in the game, and you can tell. It's like
very, very interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. I've been meaning to do a random facts video, so that might be it. Hey, Nintendo World community, what's up? That's Josh. He was our guest last week on the podcast. So if anybody wants to join him on his channel, looks like he started a podcast last night. So Nintendo World community, everybody. But go on about the stuff you were talking about.
Yeah, if my memory serves correctly, he completed a few tracks. He was slated to do the entire thing, but I think it was ultimately not completed because of the allegations at the time that were coming up about Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And so Sega was trying to cut ties with it.
Gotcha.
And he composed the tracks, but ultimately I think another composer came in and actually tweaked them a little bit. There's a few videos out there that have a couple points to either side of the story. But
hopefully we get somebody from his estate will throw that out there for us, like they did with the Pokemon thing. And Asit Patel says he was in Space Channel 5. I don't know what Space Channel 5 is. Does anybody else?
Dreamcast game.
Dreamcast
rhythm game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Does anybody is Michael Jackson in that, or is music in it? Does anyone know?
I don't know. I haven't played that one. I wouldn't be surprised. That seems like a really good place for a Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Very groovy, very kind of futuristic, groovy stuff.
Dude,
speaking,
I can't do rhythm. I can't even clap my hand to a beat, guys. I'm like,
yeah. Speaking of Dreamcast, the rumor going around that Dreamcast is getting like a virtual console on the Switch in a way. That's really exciting because Jet Set Radio can finally be on a Switch. That'd be amazing.
Sega does what Nintendo don't. It's Sega's just like firing on a lot of cylinders right now. Maybe not all, but a lot. And yeah, Dreamcast games coming.
That would make my day. Like Dreamcast, SNES, the Super Nintendo, and Dreamcast are my top 2 of all time.
Yeah, and then we can get like Shenmue games on the Switch, and
that should have happened.
I want the Panzer Dragoon and stuff like that. I want those games that I've heard so much about for so long, because I was not a Sega fan. In fact, I think back in the day, the only Sega games I've ever played was I played a Sonic game, I played a Mutant Football League, which, by the way, coincidentally, if you are a pro member at GameStop, you can get the spiritual successor of Mutant Football League on the Switch right now for $20 today and tomorrow. And then,
I was just saying, do it. I picked that up when it came out, and I love that game.
Yeah, okay. And then the other game, funny enough, is just the most random stuff. Because basically, if my friend didn't have it, I couldn't play it. And the game number 3 that I played on the Sega Genesis is this beauty right here. Night Trap. This game is so horrible, but it coincidentally is the reason why we have M for mature games. It's that and Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna do an unboxing of this. It's from Limited Run Games, and I did a video. I do unboxing videos where I open mail, and I think 2 or 3 days ago, this was in one of the boxes that I opened. So that video, you'll probably see it in 2 weeks, but. So some of my videos are going to be like the timeline of my videos is a little out of continuum because of work and stuff. But Night Trap, Sonic, and Mutant Football League were the only Sega games that I really played.
Hey, do you know the hilarious thing about Night Trap being on the Switch?
What's that? Oh, yeah, I do, but you tell it.
That Howard Lincoln, the president of Nintendo of America, said that Night Trap would never be on a Nintendo platform to the Senate. Yep. To the Senate. And now, he's the president of the Seattle Mariners now. If someone can get a picture with a limited run Switch copy of Night Trap and him.
Oh my gosh, I should do that.
So awesome.
I'm going to track this guy down now because I've been looking for ways to get my channel out there. I could post it on Twitter and maybe I could blow up that way. Riley, what is up, my man? How are you? And Asit Patel, he's out. Have fun. We shall. We've got about 16 more minutes to go before this podcast is in the books. Did we talk about everything? Did I say Black Friday? Black Friday deals are out. Right now, GameStop hasn't done theirs yet, but I bet they will tomorrow. Amazon always waits. You never know what Amazon's going to do for their lightning stuff. I've posted links on the Facebook and even on my Twitter, but Facebook and on my Black Friday video, which I think I have in the comments below. If anybody wants to look, that's where I'm going to put all of Kohl's, Target, Best Buy, all of the links to gaming deals. And there's some really good gaming deals this year. You can get Starlink for $35 at Best Buy, $40 at Target. I don't really like to shop at Target if I can help it. So I would have, though, to get a $40 Starlink, but the fact that it's at Best Buy for $35, I'm going to do that. Best Buy is having a lot of crazy good deals. This year, it seems to be a toss-up between Best Buy and Walmart for good deals. And what else? What about Diablo, guys? Let's talk about BlizzCon for a minute. I know this is typically more of a Nintendo channel, but hey, Diablo is now on Nintendo. So does anybody know what happened? Can anyone explain this for me, what happened at BlizzCon? I know, but I just don't feel like talking.
David, do you want to? I can talk to it.
The only thing I know is the whole mobile game that was announced and how it met mixed reactions, but that's mixed. All I know.
It wasn't mixed.
it was anger in a deep, the most first world anger.
First world anger, that's right. Bandana Gamer, you go for it. Tell us.
So BlizzCon, Blizzard, which is now owned by Activision, or Activision Blizzard are the same thing now, has a very radical, a very devoted fan base. StarCraft, Warcraft, and Diablo are the tentpoles of Activision. Overwatch now, a little newer thing. But so much they have their own convention, like QuakeCon and things like that. So they have BlizzCon, and there's usually
it's E3 for their people,
for their stuff. There's always usually a big keynote address where a big announcement is made. This year there was not a lot to announce, which not every year you can make a big announcement as a company. There have been years where they've skipped BlizzCon, and I think that's kind of why everyone's kind of saying is like, why did you skip? But so they do their big keynote announcement. They announce a new Overwatch character and things like that. The biggest announcement really is Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is a remaster of Warcraft 3 is coming out.
It's on the Switch. That's what I say about every game. But
that's generally my feeling too. But coming on, everyone's like rumbling that Diablo 4 is going to be announced. There's like rumors and rumbling and something. And so Diablo comes on, and it's a mobile game, and then that's the end of the convention. Well, that's the end of the keynote. The major announcement is a Diablo mobile game.
And something to point out, I'm usually a proponent of, guys, you just got your hopes too high. Sakurai never said this was going to happen, but this is a predominantly PC, as in not politically correct. Computer. These are computer people. And, we don't like digital stuff, but computer people, they don't really care if it's digital or physical, but they are the master race when it comes to video gamers. They want their game on their 4K systems, this, that, whatever. It's not a digital versus physical argument here. It's a computer versus phone argument here.
Right.
And that's the crowd here, so keep going.
And it just, everyone, internet explodes, rage, anger, like, this isn't Diablo, why are you doing this? And it just felt like it was a really poor setup, like you said, for the PC master race. They've gotten out there and been like, this is not the next Diablo game. There will be a future Diablo game. We're working on it. There was some rumor that they pulled the Diablo 4 announcement. They have denied that. Blizzard has denied that they pulled a Diablo 4 announcement. A lot of people feel like if they had just done the Metroid Prime 4 thing, and at the end of that Diablo mobile game, which I think is Diablo Immortal, if they had just put a Diablo 4 logo, which the developer said we don't want to do, we've already been through 2 iterations of this game behind closed doors. Like it is changing, it warps, we're not ready to commit. They just should not have had a big press conference for a mobile game.
They should have had
their convention, that could have been a panel thing. They could have come out and said, hey, we're just celebrating what we've made this year. We have some little announcements, but a major game developer like this should have known a franchise like Diablo, which I want to say I just got into this past week because of the Switch release. And I love it. I am so sad I've missed this for the past 30 years. It is phenomenal on Switch. Diablo 3 is one of my favorite games on Switch. But yeah, you should have known, this is not going to go well. Nothing in history has ever told you that a skinned-down mobile game is going to whet the appetite unless you do something like tease Diablo 4 coming eventually. Just give us a logo. So it was just a really... I feel like hubris that Blizzard felt like they would get over that, we're so beloved. Because, I mean, you even look at Bethesda. Bethesda announced an Elder Scrolls game on phone. And then the very, next thing at E3 they showed was, we're working on Elder Scrolls 6, guys. Don't kill us. This is not the Elder Scrolls. It's just a thing on top of.
Yeah, imagine if Nintendo had done... Hey, I'm hearing something. Who's that? Is that me?
Yeah.
No, I'm hearing, feedback on something.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So imagine if Nintendo had done something like at the end of the Smash Brothers E3 Direct, and they're like, and all this is for mobile. We would have rioted and stuff. And the fact of the matter is they sell tickets. That's the big deal to me. Yeah. They sell tickets to this thing. It's different. If Nintendo wants to say anything they want at E3, they can, because that's just entitlement. I usually feel that gamers have this mentality, this entitlement mentality, but I don't feel it in this situation because of just the bonehead move. And it's okay to make mistakes, but Blizzard has to just really own it and just say, sorry guys. They need to look at Nintendo. Like when Pokemon Go, they had a new Chicago event that was a complete and utter failure, and it was based upon some things they could control and some things they couldn't. But at the end of the day, the servers were down, this was down, and then they said, guys, we're going to make it better. Here's all this free stuff. Let's do this, let's do that. And then the following year, which was this year, they knocked it out of the park. It was great. Blizzard, they must have thought it was going to go over well. Even though I've been hearing that they kind of knew there would be backlash. They probably didn't think this much backlash. And yeah, they should have totally did something different. They should have just did a little, a trailer on Twitter and just be done with it, but they didn't. But they really gotta appease that base, and at the end of the day, the base also has to do more than just downvote a video. They have to show it with their wallets. Otherwise, there's nothing's gonna come of it. You just won't.
Well, and I don't think really that Diablo, the mobile game, is necessarily a problem for the base.
It's smart. It's smart business.
Think of how many more people have cell phones than they have any other console.
And China and stuff, they don't get everything. And so they can get a mobile game.
Yeah, and I don't think the problem is the mobile game. It's the fact that they thought the mobile game was going to be enough of an announcement to satisfy people who bought tickets and streaming passes to Blizzard Convention, BlizzCon. These are your fans of your fans. Mobile games are always meant for the biggest market.
Yeah,
and
they should have just.
What this was.
They literally should have just Nintendo. They should have just looked at Nintendo on everything. Oh, you're going to release Mario Run? Don't announce it at E3. Announce it at an Apple event. I mean, could you imagine if they had announced Diablo 3 at an Apple event? Everyone would have freaked out.
Yeah, it's like saying you're getting your cell phones in my Nintendo kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I get it. Blizzard doesn't really owe us anything, and they are a company that need to make money. People keep saying it's a cash grab. I mean, what is it? Smash Brothers, are the 5 extra downloadable content characters a cash grab? It is what it is. But you don't offend your base like this. And you made an epic failure. You got to make an epic comeback, I guess. And I bet they won't, though. I bet they're just going to, try to brush this one under. But if they do another kind of epic failure like this, they're going to have to do something. You can't have too many. I mean, that's why Sega is no longer in the console business. Too many epic failures will lead to, it will lead to your downfall. I mean, even Sonic, even though we were just talking about that awesome Sonic game, well, there's been a lot of epic failures on the Sonic front, which now Sonic Mania doesn't get as much love as it should.
Well, I mean, especially when you've released Sonic Forces at the same time, which is another epic fail. I mean, whatever Diablo 4 has got to be great now, and you've got to come out with great messaging, I guess, at BlizzCon 2019, or not do BlizzCon, like only do BlizzCon. You've either got to figure out a way to market your convention where it's, hey, we're celebrating all the things we've done, or this year's the year, big announcement, and just hit it out of the, you're right, you have to hit it out of the park.
Yeah, and they pretty much should probably make fun of themselves like Bethesda did with Skyrim on Amazon Alexa or something. They need to just kind of be like, all right, who wants to know more about the mobile app? You know, and just a quick little comment.
A video package that starts the keynote, all mobile, all the time. Yeah. Like, and the idea is like the whole presentation is all mobile, or use April Fool's Day to announce nothing but mobile games for Bethesda on Twitter.
That would be funny. And we might get something like this for Nintendo, though, because there's supposed to be another E3 Direct, or not E3 Direct. There's supposed to be another Nintendo Direct this month, and also supposed to be this month, or this quarter, is the Mario Kart 8 mobile. So I wonder how that's going to play. Nintendo's going to have to, but Nintendo will straight up say, and this is when I think it's the gamers' fault. When Nintendo says, we're only going to talk about Nindies, and then we're like, we're Smash Brothers. We have a product for kids and kids at heart. Why did they release a toy? You know, that's when I'm like, guys, shut up.
It's a 100-year-old toy company. Yeah. That's why they released a toy.
It's like, they didn't say anything about anything. And then when people get a little aggravated, why didn't they announce any other games at the Smash Direct? Because it's a Smash Direct, guys. So that's when it's like, that's when I'm like, okay, back up the entitlement. We got 3 more minutes. We're going to close out the show fairly soon. I just wanted to give shout-outs, though, to Jordan, Nicholas. Nicholas is in Vegas this week. He said he was going to try to make it, but he's probably can't. And then we also have, I want to give a shout-out to Paul Cobb and hashtag Autism Awareness. Those guys are patrons to the channel, and they are greatly appreciated. I'm going to try to be updating the channel soon. I'm looking at 4K cameras right now, but, man, those things are... Oh, they hurt. They're so expensive. But I think it's time for the channel to get an upgrade in visuals. And I also want to thank Bandana Gamer. That's this dude right here. I want to thank him for joining us on the show today. Devin was here, but he got booted off, because I guess he was like traveling trying to get his fiance. Happy birthday to her. And William will be joining us again next week. And then, of course, David, you're just a soldier, man. You're a body on the field. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure.
But, yeah, check out Bandana Gamer. You're just starting off, right, dude?
Just started off. I think I've got about 5 or 6 videos. Should hopefully get a Capcom on Switch video up this week. Kind of a report card of where Capcom's at on the Nintendo Switch, and just kind of learning my way.
Okay, so
awesome.
Are you doing a video a week, a video a month? How are you? What's your channel like right now?
Right now, I'm trying to get 3 to 4 videos done a month.
Okay.
I haven't been able to hit the consistency because of schoolwork and stuff. But my hope is to get it up to 4, so video a week coming in January, and then we'll see some streaming and podcasting around mobile or what I consider mobile Game Boy gaming.
Okay.
Coming up along those lines. And so,
all right, cool. Well, guys, Bandana Gamer, if you want, go give him a peek. Maybe even, help his channel out. He's just starting off, and I'll tell you what, that first 100 people, it sucks to get to 100, and then it sucks to get to 200. It just, you know what, dude? It's just going to suck for you for a very long time. So maybe you guys can make it suck less by checking out his channel. Let's close it out. We got a minute left. David, anything to throw at us?
Nope.
Come on, throw something at us. I changed my mind. Just figure something out and throw it at me.
Waluigi for Smash.
Okay, hashtag justice for Waluigi. Bandana Gamer, a.k.a. John. throw me something.
Just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Looking forward to continuing to develop and go on from there. Final Fantasy, please pray for resurrection.
Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. And guys, hey, everyone, I do appreciate you joining. We had a very fun podcast this time around. EPS 5000, he wants Sub-Zero and Scorpion for Smash. Then we could get those fatalities. Riley, Asit Patel, everyone, thank you so much for joining. David's mom, hi. I know I'm forgetting a couple people, but that's all right because you guys were here and we just thank you. Paradox, everyone who didn't speak, you don't got to speak. You just sit here and listen to us ramblings every Saturday at 11 Eastern Standard Time right here on Move Over Kids. We appreciate y'all. It is dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this channel with a friend, and I will be doing an unboxing of Let's Go Pikachu and stuff, so stay tuned for that and have a great day.